What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It's Conger Live, and it's time for another TMNT Mutant Madness video. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to ninja kick that like button and subscribe for more TMNT Mutant Madness content. As you may be able to tell from the what's on my screen, we do have a new tier list thanks to the friends and family over at Exquisite. I have not been able to be as hands-on on this project as much as I was in the past. As a lot of you know, I just had my son born. Super excited about that. But it's definitely taken a lot more out of my day, and a lot of other things going on as well. So a couple things to cover before we get too deep into this. I want you to take a look over here. This shop now has this new look with the boxes. It tells you what tier you're on here. See, this daily free box is tier 6, but you actually have to click on it to see how many tiers there are total, which for the free box, no problem. But when you're looking at the special offer boxes, before you used to see how many tiers were in a box, but now you actually have to click on the box to see, oh, this is the 4-tier box. I don't like that. It's lowering the quality of time, increasing the amount of time I have to spend on the screen, and decreasing the quality of time on the screen. This flashy big banner up here at the top, completely useless, does nothing. Can't click on it, can't tap it. The bar at the top with the materials, that looks kind of cool. Sure, that's nice, but otherwise, devs, what are you doing? The boxes already having the extra step to open them are super annoying, especially when you open a character box or something like that. Just the amount of screen time that is low quality is being increased, and that does not make your players happy. So I wanted to say that first. Also, you should have noticed we do now have some codexes. Oh my goodness, they didn't show up in the codex. What a surprise. Season 7. Well, we have 2 new comics. Sorry, can't show them to you, but you should have seen them, the noir style. I wanted to talk about that. What a pain. As soon as you watch the cartoons, they should come up in here. So we have all the old seasons, but season 7 should be here. We're in season 7, and it's not here. We should have those too. So that's another thing, devs. Big old WTF, right? But we got to see in the next comic that Medusa is coming, and they are mentioning that they are hunting a mutant. And if you guys saw my data mine video from way back in the past, and being that Medusa was in season 9 of the 1987 series, I have a feeling that the mutant they're hunting is the mutant form of Carter. Don't know for sure, but that's what I have to say about that. Not going to get into too much of that prediction, but let's talk a little bit more about this tier list. Now, the top tier characters, the S tier, that hasn't changed, but there are a couple characters that are climbing up this tier ranking, and some that probably should still be rated higher. So, of course, these 4 are still some of the best characters in the game. April, Splinter, Metalhead, and Shredder. So excellent tunes, but we got a couple tunes that have had some reworks, or some couple tunes that are just now getting more and more play, that we are realizing, hey, these guys might be pretty darn good. So the first thing that you might notice that is different is right here in the A tier, Attila. So I have not yet opened my 4-star drives for Attila, but after hearing how much damage this guy is putting out, I'm thinking I need to do it. Now, part of the reason why I haven't opened these drives yet is because I've been waiting for the event where I want to get the points. So that's going to be part of it, but I'm definitely going to be opening Attila's drives that I have from the previous season. Now, why does he do so much damage? We're going to go through his kit really quickly. Target all enemies, deal 100 physical damage. This is all everybody around him, right? And he's a brawler. He gets up in there. Plus his secondary is support, so he's going to help stay alive, right? Inflicts negative armor, so that just makes it to where he can do more damage. afterwards and deal 200 physical damage. So he's going to do damage, and then he's going to select someone and do more damage, taking away their armor and then that damage. And it takes away the armor first and then deals the damage. The devs have said that when it's written in here, the order of operations is how it's written. So that's pretty huge, right? That negative 30 armor before doing that physical damage. And then he gains defense if he's not rooted or slowed, and he inflicts negative defense to all enemies at range 1 at 75, which is great, stripping defense and doing damage. And then he's also going to stun if he's not disarmed. So this flail spin, ultimate, active, special, whatever you want to call it, is awesome, right? His belly flop, he gains armor, does damage to everyone around him. This is why he's doing so much damage. He's got quite a good amount of AoE, and it's substantial AoE damage. Unlike other AoE characters that don't do substantial damage, he does quite a bit. And he gets resistance to stun and root, so he's going to be able to make sure that he himself will be able to do more by not getting stunned and rooted, keeping him in the fight, doing damage. When he attacks, he strips defense and armor, so just increasing the amount of damage he's putting out, and the more strength he has, the more damage he's doing. So it's just insane how quickly his damage can get up. And he gets haste with all of his allies, and will, so he's going to be getting those specials off more often. He's going to be attacking quickly. This is going to continue to increase that damage output, which is what we all want, right, out of our tunes that are supposed to be damage dealers, a brawler like this. And then, of course, whenever an ally or at or above 10 will uses a skill, gives all allies defense. So that's a support skill, right? He's already giving 5 will. They only need a 5 more will from somewhere else, right? But it says all allies for each other non-summon. So as long as there's a bunch of people on the board, he's going to be giving out defense. He's going to make it much harder for your team to be dropped. This Croaking Unity, I completely underrated this when I first looked at it. It's amazing. And then finally Warcroak, stripping that defense, taking away strength, so you're not going to take as much damage, and then giving out defense, giving out strength to his allies. Just huge, the amount of damage potential that he has. We have a screenshot of him doing some damage. Oh my goodness, right? So the other person, I mean, a lot of these are great. Irma's great damage dealer. I think she's awesome. Chrome Dome and Krang are excellent. But the other one that I think should probably be moved up to the A tier, that's been placed in the B tier, that had a rework recently, is Mona. Now, I wish I had Mona at a 4-star. She actually does a decent amount of damage as well. Even though she's primarily a support, she also does some substantial damage. And it's because it's energy damage, and there's a lot less barrier in a lot of the kits out there. There's more armor than there is barrier. So energy damage just has a potential to do more in general, right? So she does energy damage. All allies within 1 gives defense. So she's dealing damage to the enemies while also giving defense. Very, very similar, this volatile mix, similar to Donatello with his special. But what I've been hearing from players that are using her is that she prioritizes her targets as the allies because she's primarily a support, where Donatello is primarily a trickster with supports as secondary, which is why he targets the enemies first, and sometimes his special is annoying. So Mona Lisa seems like she might be a great replacement for Donatello. If you are at the point where you're like, which one do I use? I would probably start using Mona Lisa. I think she's going to be more viable in the long run. I know a lot of people have already invested a lot of ooze into their Donatello, so they don't want to put him on the bench. But if you can get Mona Lisa to 4 stars, I would definitely recommend pumping some more energy into her. She gives haste, she gives will, she gives extra defense to targets that are stunned, rooted, or slowed, or taking damage over time. So this is going to mitigate those status effects that are hurting your teammates. And this is a huge support skill that also does damage to the surrounding enemies. So it's excellent what she can do. With this rework and everything, all of her skills. She gives strength and focus to help get more damage output from her allies, and she also gives defense with her first auto, her expanded studies, Targeting all allies within range 1 deals energy damage. Right, so this is going to give us some more of that damage output, which we want out of our characters, once again. She also gains haste per other ally above 25 haste. She gains 10 strength and focus per ally at above 10 strength or focus. So if her allies have haste and strength and focus, she's going to get haste, strength, and focus. And of course, she needs that focus to do more damage and that haste to keep adding more attacks. And at the start of combat, she gives defense and resistance to all these status effects, as well as armor and barrier. So making the first 12 seconds of the fight give you a huge advantage, much like Splinter. So with the way her kit reads, she's like a catch-all. You can pull Donatello and Splinter out, and you put her in, and now you have room for another damage dealer like Attila. If you want to go that route, of course, you could still use either Donatello or Splinter with her and your other tunes that you're using, whether it be April, Metalhead, Shredder, some other combination of damage dealers, Drag, Krang, Irma. That's completely up to you. A lot of fun to use her. I cannot wait to get a 4-star of her so I can boost her up and start using her. Because where I'm at, a 3-star 200 is just not going to cut it. But if you have her at 4-star, oh, I'm jealous. Just a little bit jealous. And then her final obscuring mix gives more defense, strips defense off the enemies, and removes 150 alertness. That alertness, not only does she take away the defense, but she takes away the ability for them to gain defense. So good, so good. And then she's going to give barrier, which it doesn't happen a lot. A lot more characters are giving armor than barrier. So this is why Irma has now, Mona Lisa has now become such a vital part of the team, and she can still do tons of damage. My goodness, look at this. Wow. Look at that. Wow. My goodness. Okay. So as you can see, we have the tier list. It's going to be linked in the Discord if you guys want to get deeper into what do you think you should do. But the couple characters that I think we should look at more, if you can use them, Attila and Mona Lisa, and of course those top tier characters, anyone in the A or the S. A couple of the ones that are in the A, I'm feeling they don't quite cut it anymore. Donatello, Leo, sorry brothers, but as we get more and more characters and more tweaks, things are coming up. Now you may notice the new characters, Rock and Raph and Dirk, are down in the D tier. We just don't have enough information. A lot of people aren't using them yet. A lot of people who have Rock and Raph left them in their inbox to wait to open them for the next big event. I did not buy the season pass this time because I don't feel like the value's there anymore. Yes, I would love the ooze bonus, and that's the biggest value, and it is the best value in the game for spending, but as I've been playing this game for almost a year, I still don't have a 5-star. Devs, what are you doing to us? And then oh man, the low quality time on these boxes. Get more heroes. Click on the drive. Now, of course, it's cool they show you who's available in the drive, and you can hit your info button and find out. But then when I open the drive, it spins, and then I gotta go click open again on the box. It's gonna show me what I get, and then when I click close, it's gonna jump to the screen. Oh my gosh, it didn't do that. Oh, that's awesome. It has been jumping to the screen and showing the character come out of the box. Oh my goodness, like just so many layers of wasting my time. So that's about it, guys. Thank you so much for watching and sticking with me. Don't forget to ninja kick that like button. I gotta put a shout out to Ninja Kick the Rabbit for helping actually put this together this time. So we appreciate that, brother. And that's about it. Don't forget to leave a comment down below as to which of these characters you're going to use. Tell me some things about some characters maybe we overlooked or put in the wrong tier so we can get better for next time. As always, let's game smarter here, and we'll see you in the next video.